Story, the young United States on the Stormy Road, 1800 to 1812. The Peaceful Revolution, election of 1800. The election of 1800 was an unprecedented turning point. The two major political parties, the Federalists and the Democratic Republicans, were in fierce competition. John Adams, the incumbent president of the Federalists, represented a strong central government and close ties with Britain. Meanwhile, Thomas Jefferson, the leader of the Democratic Republic, believed that America should be an agrarian republic, emphasizing state power and a connection with the people. The election results led to a complicated situation. Jefferson and Aaron Burr had equal votes in the Electoral College. The House of Representatives had to vote to decide. After many rounds of deadlock, Jefferson finally became president. Burr became vice president. This was the first time in modern world history that national leadership had been transferred peacefully, through ballots rather than violence. Jefferson called this the Revolution of 1800, because it proved that American democracy could withstand political division, the Jefferson administration, and a simpler America. When Jefferson entered the White House, he did not flaunt his power. He traveled by horse, disliked extravagant ceremonies, and often received guests in simple clothes. He wanted to show the people that the president was not a new king, but simply a servant of the people. He cut the government budget, reduced the size of the standing army, lowered taxes, and reduced the bureaucracy. Jefferson believed that a lean government would protect liberty. However, these reforms also raised concerns. Could a young nation in a turbulent world survive with such a weak army? Louisiana Purchase, the dream of Western expansion. In 1803, the United States entered into a deal that would change the nation's destiny. France, under Napoleon Bonaparte, needed money for its wars in Europe. Jefferson seized the opportunity, negotiating the purchase of the vast Louisiana territory. For just $15 million, the United States doubled its size, gaining control of the Mississippi River and the important port city of New Orleans. Many questioned Jefferson. Was this constitutional when the Constitution did not explicitly provide for the president's right to purchase land? But Jefferson put the national interest first. The Louisiana Purchase not only expanded territory, but also planted the seeds of the Western dream, where generations of American farmers, hunters, and immigrants would find land, freedom, and opportunity. Soon after, Jefferson sent Meriwether Lewis and William Clark with an expedition across the Missouri River, across the Rocky Mountains, and to the Pacific Ocean. They made maps, studied plants and animals, and communicated with many native tribes. The journey became a symbol of the American spirit of exploration and territorial expansion. Trade storms and the Embargo Act of 1807. While the country expanded westward, the United States faced a crisis on the seas. War between Britain and France raged in Europe. Despite declaring neutrality, the United States was caught in the vortex. The British Navy frequently intercepted American ships, forcing American sailors to join the British fleet, impressment. The French attacked American merchant ships trading with Britain. The Americans were angry, but Jefferson did not want war. Instead, he imposed the Embargo Act of 1807, banning all trade with Europe. He hoped this would pressure Britain and France to make concessions. But the result was the opposite. The American economy collapsed. New England ports fell into a deadlock, merchants went bankrupt, and agricultural products rotted because they could not be exported. People were angry, and in many places even rebelled against the federal government. Jefferson, once loved, was now harshly criticized. Natives and Tecumseh's resistance. The expansion of the United States meant the loss of land for natives. The forests and rivers where their ancestors had lived for thousands of years were now taken over by American farmers. Amidst this, a Shawnee leader named Tecumseh emerged. He called on native tribes to unite in a broad alliance to resist the American encroachment. His younger brother, known as the Prophet, promoted a religious movement calling for a return to traditional life, abandoning alcohol and European goods. This movement grew more widespread, causing concern for the United States government. Many believed that the British in Canada secretly supported and supplied weapons to natives to fight the Americans. This tension was one of the important causes leading to the War of 1812. Madison and the Spectre of War, 1809 to 1812. When Jefferson left office in 1809, he left behind a legacy as large as it was troubled. He was succeeded by James Madison, one of the founding fathers and architect of the Constitution. Madison faced a difficult problem. Britain continued to seize American ships, while France refused to budge. The patience of the American people was wearing thin. In Congress, a group of passionate young politicians, called the War Hawks, emerged. They came from the western and southern states and believed that only war could save the nation's honor and open the door to conquering Canada and pushing back the natives. The pressure grew. By 1812, the US Congress had formally declared war on Britain. The young United States, less than 40 years after the Declaration of Independence, was about to enter a major conflict, the War of 1812, on the brink of war. In the 12 years from 1800 to 1812, the United States experienced both glory and crisis. Jefferson brought about a peaceful transfer of power, expanded territory with the Louisiana Purchase, and planted the seeds of the Western Dream. But at the same time, he also brought the country to its knees with the failure of the embargo. Meanwhile, the Native Americans, under Tecumseh, prepared for fierce resistance. And finally, under Madison, the nation moved closer than ever to all-out war with the British Empire. The United States stood on the brink of a new test. Could this young republic stand up to the mightiest power in the world, or would it collapse under the pressure of war? Thank you for listening, goodbye, and see you in the next part.